Chapter 1, Unit 3, where we're going to start writing email samples, and we're going to look at requests and regrets. Okay, so does this look familiar? Well, of course it should. We've been using this as an example throughout our program. This is the invitation email that Sangeeta sent to Doug to invite him to the cultural event or annual day of her company. When we look at this and we look at Doug and we read the email that Sangeeta has written to him, are we able to ascertain who Doug is in relation to Sangeeta? Are you able to figure out how she knows him or how he's related to the company? Actually, it's kind of vague. We really don't know who he is or how he's related. He could be internal, he could be external. We really don't know. That kind of information is not really evident in this message. We can make assumptions, obviously. Maybe by the opening, we could make an assumption that maybe that's not an opening we would have written to our internal colleagues, for example. It might be a more common opener to someone we don't interact with very frequently, or a more formal opening to someone that we do interact with frequently but not working in our company. So we can make some guesses, but really we really don't know who Doug is. So when we write an email invitation to an event, depending on the type of event, we would in most cases be inviting different categories of people, either from different parts of our organization and or external to our organization. So this slide was actually created for delivering this content to a group of individuals, where I would break them up into groups. Obviously, you don't have to break yourself up into a group, but you can see that what I was trying to achieve here was have individuals or groups take that email sample or create one from scratch and then rewrite it for a different audience. So, for instance, if you were going to write an invitation and Doug was your CEO, how would you write this differently? Would you have the same opener? Hi, Doug, for example. Would you have greetings from your company, his name there? How would you write this invitation email if it was to your CEO? And would you have attachments? What kind of wording would you put in the content that might be different than what you might write to your colleagues who are on your same team, or your colleagues from a different team, or your colleagues who work in the same company who you don't interact with much, maybe from HR or finance? How might you write this differently if it was your client or a board members, committee board members for your company, or your banking partner for your company who you're inviting to this event? So choose 2 or 3 different types of individuals, and generally I suggest you should have at least one internal and one external that you're trying to write this sample email to. And after you write it, just look at both of them and think to yourself, how is the tone different? What type of words am I using that are different for these individuals? Am I opening the email differently depending on who I'm writing to? Am I being more formal with certain people and more casual with others? Because even though we're all have to be professional in our email, there are times we're a little more casual than other times. Like, for example, again, going back to this, hi, Doug. Because it says hi, it could be considered a little more casual. And obviously, maybe when we're sending an invitation, we want it to sound a little more casual and a little bit more friendly. But would we still sound as casual with the same type of message, inviting someone to the event, if they were our manager, if they were our CEO, for example. Maybe, maybe not. So just consider these things as you do your activity writing assignments. And that's actually the first activity. So the first activity, you're just going to dive right in, and you're going to you can take that email sample, and rewrite it, or you can just start from scratch and write something that's more relevant to your situation. You can write it based on your company's name and event names from your company, things like that. You can even use names of people that you work with if you know, want to make it feel more realistic, because you're not sharing these emails with anyone. Now, also keep in mind that you can get personalized interaction with me if you upgrade your experience. Otherwise, you can come into the forum and ask general questions, or you can hopefully attend the office hours when I start posting them. So this is your first writing activity. So take some time and really think about it, and really, really practice. This is your time to take to really try this out. Don't skip over it. There are going to be about 6 different writing activities. They're all different types of activities with different types of emails that you need to write. And each type are common emails, except for one. One might not be a common email, but the other 5 are usually pretty common to most of us working in companies and teams every single day. So take some time, write these samples, and just observe them and see how they're similar or different, and try to even think, why should they be similar or why should they be different? Critical thinking skills. So I'll let you loose to do your work, and we'll see you in the next video.